Hello, welcome back to the only AEW recap show that we will be doing this week. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good.
What'd you think of the show?
Nice intro. There was an attempt. There was an attempt at a show.
An attempt at a show, okay. So I'm guessing you're not gonna put this on the best of list.
No, it's not a very good follow up to last week. At least
Yeah.
personally.
I don't think it was like terrible, but they really didn't do a lot to add to make me want to purchase a pay-per-view on Sunday.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was pretty much gonna use the exact line of thinking. It's like we are leading to a pay-per-view, right? Like on Sunday, let alone. And there didn't really seem to be that much build to a lot of those matches.
There was some, but a lot of it wasn't, which is weird. I feel like we've said this at least once or twice before when it comes to the AEW Dynamite before their pay-per-view, is where it's like they kind of like, it seems like they kind of book all the guys who won't be on the pay-per-view to have some kind of like mini pay-per-view the Wednesday before the pay-per-view. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like the guys who aren't going to be in matches on the pay-per-view, we'll put them on TV so that at least, you know,
they got something to do.
They can't say that, you know, I'm not being used or anything. I don't know, but yeah, there was a little build. Probably for the Young Bucks and Jericho and MJF, but
yeah, that's true.
Not a overly spectacular Dynamite, but I guess we'll get into that. So let's start it up. AEW Dynamite recap for March 3rd, 2021. Happy Girls Day, by the way. So it's Girls Day. You know what pisses me off? So March 3rd is Girls Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And May 5th is Boys Day. But May 5th is also Children's Day. So the boys get screwed. The girls essentially get 2 days. And us boys only get one. And we have to share it with the girls.
When did that change anyways? It was always Boys Day when I was a kid.
I don't know. I think it was like that when we were like kids too, like 5 years ago, but who the hell knows?
Yeah. 5 years ago.
Anyway, AEW Dynamite. So we start off with the dream match that we've been waiting what seems like 6 years for. Shaq and Jade versus Cody and Red Velvet. So, did you know that Red Velvet is actually not a full-time AEW wrestler?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until I think I read it somewhere on Reddit that, you know, I hope this match will lead them to signing Red Velvet full-time. And I was like, he's not a full-time wrestler? It's like, that's weird. But okay. But
yeah.
What did you think about this match?
It was actually, you know, in all honesty, it was better than I thought it would be. I will say that. It was better than I thought it would be. Jade actually showed some, you know, definite ability, considering that I don't think she's ever really wrestled a match, at least not on Dynamite or Dark even. Red Velvet was good.
Red Velvet's very good.
Yeah, Cody was Cody.
Cody's always good.
Cody's great, but he needs somebody to work with.
Yeah. Shaq, I found, was way better than I thought he would be, because I thought he would be pretty much an F. But
yes,
probably
I was
like
gonna say
maybe like as far as celebrity wrestlers, he was probably somewhere between Lawrence Taylor and Stephen Amell, but you know, he was okay. And strangely enough, Jade, I thought she looked really good. I was impressed with Jade. I was like, why the hell didn't they just have her wrestle instead of all this talking shit where it's like, get the hell off my TV. But then now that she wrestles, I was like, she's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I was like, awesome. Cool. Like, why hasn't she wrestled till now? I don't get it. But anyway, the match, I mean, this kind of didn't really like about this is that Shaq just beat everybody up. I guess he probably was like, you know what, I'm not going to do this unless I get to beat everybody up. So he beats up Cody early. Jade beats up Red Velvet. Then Shaq beats up the varsity Blondes on the outside, and he beats up QT.
No, that was Gun Club.
Oh, it was Gun Club? They're all the same.
I don't know if you were saying that as
I thought it was I wrote down the Varsity Blondes, so I thought it was the Varsity Blondes. But I guess it was the Gun Club.
Yeah, because Austin is part of Nightmare Family, right?
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Everybody's in the Nightmare Family. We're in the fucking Nightmare Family.
That's true.
I joined too. I just didn't. But whatever. And he beats up QT, and they set up tables on the outside, and he's just being Shaq, and he power bombs Cody. That looked pretty good, actually. I'll give him that. Cody kind of body slammed Shaq, but not really. I mean, like, he didn't really, like, flip him. He just kind of, like, and throws him down. But whatever. So Shaq does the big man push everybody off at 2 spot, and Cody goes flying. It's just, like, so ridiculous. And then, so Jade actually has Red Velvet in a pin, but then Cody breaks it up. And then Jade is like, what the hell, to the ref. And I kind of agree with her. Isn't that a DQ? Or isn't the men not supposed to touch the women?
Yeah.
Isn't that sort of the idea? So, like, when Cody goes and breaks up the pin, shouldn't that be a DQ? But whatever. So they set up the big deal of this match where Cody dives onto Shaq, who's standing on the apron, and then they both go through 2 tables on the outside. Meanwhile, Red Velvet hits a spear, but we don't know that until the replay because the camera missed it for a 2 count. And then she's like, oh my god, she kicked out of my spear. What do I do? I should consult Arn Anderson. So I don't know why anyone would do this in a real, like, you don't see like Conor McGregor like miss a jab and then ask his corner, like, how do I beat this guy? Like it doesn't make sense.
Can I continue?
Yeah. So then Jade hits like a double chicken wing into a face first slam and gets the W. And meanwhile, Shaq is dead on the outside, and they show close-ups of him just dead. I really thought he was gonna smile, but he, like, cause he knows, right? I've got to play dead here, but then he knows the camera's on him. Though I thought he was just gonna break down and just smile or something, but he didn't. So Shaq is dead on the outside. Jade doesn't care. She's posing and smiling in the ring, and okay. So, like you said, yeah, this was better than expected. Jade, though, I gotta say, we've been giving her talking smack about how crappy and like she's like, but yeah, like I don't know. Like I said before, I don't know why they just didn't have her wrestle, because she's much better at wrestling and looking badass than she is at on the mic.
Cutting promos. I agree. Yeah, I seriously had the lowest of low expectations for this match. And I'll be the first to, say, like, I was wrong. It was way better than I thought it would be. And Jade is a lot better wrestler than she is at cutting promos. So I hope that trend continues.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to more Jade. I didn't think I would be saying that, but she was she was good. I will give her that. So, in the most weirdest thing ever, one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in wrestling that comes up next. They come back from break, and they show that during the break, Shaq has been loaded into the ambulance. I was like, okay, cool. I guess Shaq is not done with AEW. And then Tony Schiavone is at the ambulance, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I know he's being taken care of, but we've got to get an update. So they open the ambulance, and Shaq is not in the ambulance. And neither are the EMTs. The ambulance is empty.
No, there was one EMT.
Oh, there was one EMT?
Yeah, he
I
talked
didn't
to the EMT,
see
and the guy's like, I don't know, man.
So apparently Shaq teleported to the NBA All-Star game or something.
Pull the Batman. That was weird. That was a really weird angle.
Like, what the hell is this? So, spoiler alert. I figured, Shaq was pretending to be hurt, and then he's going to go beat up Cody in the locker room later on in the night. But spoiler alert, no, that's it. There's no Shaq. There's no update. Like, so as far as we know, like, Shaq, like, I don't know, maybe he's a Jedi and he, like, Force ghost died or something.
Maybe there'll be a missing persons report. Like, he really went missing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll be I don't know. They'll have like maybe TNT is reviving Unsolved Mysteries, and they'll have a show like, what happened with Shaq?
What happened to Shaq?
They loaded him into the ambulance, and then he just wasn't there.
That was odd. I don't get that at all.
Well, I guess I'm assuming this won't be the last of Shaq in AEW. Otherwise,
yeah.
I don't know. But
yeah,
whatever. I mean, like, I'm not gonna like stop watching AEW because of this. It was just like strange as hell.
It's one of those things where, you know, this is wrestling. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
You know,
so
it makes no sense, but that's why it's wrestling.
So up next we've got PAC and Phoenix versus John Skyler.
I wouldn't get their names. Honestly.
John Skyler and D3. So PAC and Phoenix beat the shit out of these two guys. PAC hits a 450. Phoenix hits like a cutter into a slam and gets a 3 count. That recap was longer than the match.
Yeah, I turned away and it was over. I was like, who are these guys? I was like, oh, this is going to be pretty quick.
Which is fine because it's just fine because it's not like we really need John Skyler and D3 to put up a competitive battle against PAC and Phoenix.
They would, but this match was, the intros were longer. I mean, than the actual
Death Triangle song and the pose.
Yeah.
It's like they just destroyed. This was good. I mean, like, no complaints, but it was just like, it was fast. It was super fast. Anything you want to add on that?
No.
I mean, PAC and Phoenix are awesome. They look good in everything they did. And
yeah, the moves were great.
It
just felt
exactly what it should have been. We don't need these two guys going
I don't think they should have gone toe to toe.
Going back and forth. Yeah.
I don't know. It felt unnecessary, I guess is the right word for it.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe they filmed this match for Dark, and because I think this was a taped show. I want to say, I'm not sure if this was live. Anyway, maybe
I didn't see the live moniker anywhere. So you're probably right.
Maybe I'm thinking maybe this was a taped show, and they just when they like put it all together, they were like, you know what? We got like 2-3 minutes extra. Just show the PAC and Phoenix that we filmed for Dark. Or something. I don't know, but whatever. So up tonight, we've got the women's final. We've got Ryo Mizunami against Nyla Rose. We've got 10 versus Max Caster for a spot at the Face of the Revolution ladder match at Revolution. And we've got Jurassic Express versus FTR and Tully. But up next is the Inner Circle press conference. And what'd you think of this?
It was good, although it was again like kind of unnecessary. I guess I don't know. Like there was a lot more. There was a lot more that was just being thrown around that had nothing to do with what was happening with Revolution. You know, I thought it was going to be all about building up to Revolution, but it was more like Sammy Guevara, all these random things. I didn't even hear what the first reporter asked. Did you?
No, I'm pretty sure that was. I'm pretty sure the mic wasn't on for that, or the mic wasn't working.
That was on purpose.
I don't know if that was on purpose, but the mic wasn't working. We definitely didn't hear what they were saying. But I thought this was awesome. I thought this was really good. So Dasha is hosting, but pretty much doesn't do anything other than like introduce
them
the press conference. So some dude asks a question and nobody can hear him, and Jericho says, you know, it's great that Barstool Sports is here, so I'm guessing that guy was from Barstool Sports. I don't recognize him, so I don't know who he is. And then, you know, everything Jericho says, by the way, is getting cheered.
Yeah.
You know? So he's supposed to be like the most hated guy, but he's getting cheered. He says he's a 7-time tag team champion, including with Dwayne Johnson, and AEW owns Paul White, and it's time for them to beat the Young Bucks like their stupid father. And then up next is Conrad Thompson. And he asks, what are the odds of letting Sammy Guevara back in the Inner Circle? And Jericho says, didn't I say I don't want to hear that name again? And go back to Nebraska, Thompson. So then Brandon Walker from Barstool Sports is up next. And they said, he asked, why did they attack Papa Buck? And MJF says, well, he attacked Jericho, which was correct. He attacked Jericho. He pushed Jericho first. And so he says this was an act of self-defense, and he's got his backyard blood all over his custom suit. And he says he doesn't shop at Target or Baby Gap, and the crowd chants Target.
That was so good.
And Santana asks if it was smart enough to bring your bitch ass pops, and he says nope, because there's no line the inner circle won't cross. Up next is Eric Bischoff from 83 Weeks, and he says he has 2 questions for Jericho. Do you know the condition of Papa Buck? And number 2, on your list of stupid ideas, where does motivating the Young Bucks with a vengeance rank? And Jericho says, shut your mouth. We don't care about Papa Buck. We don't know his condition. And as far as the Bucks go, and before he says he gets to finish his thought, the Bucks music plays, and he comes out, and the Bucks say, you know, we knew you would hurt us and their friends, but not their father, and they made it personal. Their dad is the best. They taught them everything they know to become the men they are. He did all that. He did all the things that Jericho and MJF's dad failed at. And when he couldn't afford college, he built them a ring with his own 2 hands, and that helped create the Bucks, BTE, and AEW. And without Papa Buck, there'd be no AEW, and MJF would be at home waiting for a call from the Rosie O'Donnell show. And what would Chris be doing? Oh yeah, he'd be curtain jerking at the Performance Center tonight. So he also taught them that sometimes you have to kick some ass, and they attack. And then Brandon Cutler is out. And then JR, with one of the lines of the night, says, the 2 yahoos from Impact Wrestling are here. And of course, he's referring to the Good Brothers. And they set up a table, and they hold Ortiz on it. And Nick dives onto Ortiz, while Mac dives off the stage onto Santana, who's being held by Brandon Cutler. So yeah, this was long and pretty good. And this is about the most you're going to get building up Revolution.
Yeah, that's true. After hearing you replay it, I actually enjoyed it more.
Why?
The end was, I don't know. It's just funny looking back on it. Like, as it was going on, I was just like, this is kind of redundant, I guess. I don't know. I love it when they have the inner circle, like talking points, press conferences, stuff like that. But this one didn't really add anything to me until the Young Bucks came out, which was awesome when they were just ripping into Jericho and MJF. And they were all bringing up good points. And that was such a great, perfect line when they said, you know, our dad taught us apparently everything that your dad's never taught you. You know,
Yeah.
It was so good. That was awesome.
It was good.
I thought it was a bit odd that Santana and Ortiz would be eating the tables, though.
Yeah, well, I guess I don't know. I guess they didn't want to do it to Jericho and MJF.
True.
I don't know why, but they just didn't. So
Yeah.
So up next, we've got a video about the barbed wire exploding death match, and they show videos from Japan of this death match, and there's like triggers on the ground, and if you step on the trigger, I guess it's kind of like landmines, and there's actual friggin' explosions. I don't know. And so they have some Japanese dude who Beachblasters X tells me is Atsushi Onita talking about the match. So, okay, cool. Anything you want to add about this little video?
Actually glad they included this. It kind of builds up the match, and it kind of gives a little background on what we're looking at, I guess. And it's nuts. I guess these matches haven't been done in so long that the footage they had was like 30 years old.
Yeah.
But I don't know. One thing I just wish is if they just included a real quick thing about how it would actually work for AEW, in case they're trying to get people to buy in.
I don't know about explosions. Like,
I'm not a big fan of this match, honestly. I really don't think that.
Yeah,
I don't think this is the best showcase of Moxley or Omega.
I mean, I've said it before. These like hardcore deathmatch type stuff is not really my thing. Apparently, Kenny and Moxley are all into it though, so whatever. Have at it.
Yeah, it's their match, so
I'm sure it'll be a very good barbed wire exploding death match, but you know, I don't need to see like actual violence. I like the pretend violence better.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, I mean, I don't think UFC would put on an exploding barbed wire where the octagon was all in barbed wire and there was explosions and like, so, you know, but hey, whatever.
Well, maybe not this UFC. Maybe the original UFC though. Remember how brutal those fights
The
were?
original UFC would not have had this. Come on. Although the original UFC was awesome with
people were eating
the nut shots
and kicks to the face while on the ground, like stomps, like what? what? Like you look at it now, it's like I can't believe this was allowed.
Yeah.
You know, this was real life blood sport. This was a real life Kumite.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Very great movie, by the way, Bloodsport.
Shout out to Bloodsport. Yes, absolutely, guys.
Yeah, with the very make sure you watch to the very end where it'll show Frank Duke's actual Kumite record, which is totally legit. So up next, we've got FTR and Tully Blanchard. And they're coming out with J.J. Dillon of the Four Horsemen fame, and they're going to take on Jurassic Express. What did you think of this?
I wish it was a little bit longer, actually.
Really?
But it was good for what it was. I was shocked that Tully Blanchard was actually wrestling.
Yeah.
He took some moves. He did some moves. I was like, man, he's like, I forgot. I looked it up before. He was like 65, 66, and it's like, I don't know how this guy is taking these moves. I don't know how this guy is doing these moves, but more power to him, man.
Yeah. He looked pretty good. I mean,
pretty nimble, yeah.
What do you expect from, I don't know how old he is in real life. Got to be in his at least 60s or maybe 70s.
67.
67, yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, what do you expect from a 67-year-old guy? Like, he was an A+ when you consider how old he is.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, big time.
Story of this match, for me anyway, is that when Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are in, it's a good wrestling match. And when Marco is in there, it's stupid comedy. But that's what you get from Marco, so it's whatever. Which makes you want to see him get his ass beat even more, which is fine. So Jungle Boy has so it starts ramping. The match starts ramping up when Jungle Boy puts a snare trap on Cash on the outside, and Cash is tapping like, he's giving up. And then JJ gives Dax a shoe, and Dax whacks Jungle Boy after he gets back in the ring with it, and that's only for a 2. Tully teases a dive, but he doesn't actually do a dive. He does a flare strut. And then they go to break, and back from break, they've got control of Jungle Boy, and Cash tries a Vader bomb, but Jungle Boy gets his feet up. Luchasaurus tags in. He's running wild. He tosses Marco into a crossbody on Tully. FTR dumps Marco off the apron. Luchasaurus does a double German on FTR, which is the dumbest thing I've seen this week. Did you see? You know what I'm talking about? When I forget who Luchasaurus was holding. Let's just say he was holding Cash, and then Cash is holding on to Dax, and then Luchasaurus German suplex both of them. What? Why would he just let go of his partner? That makes no sense at all.
That was odd. Maybe I don't know. There's just no reasoning to that. Like, hey, let's go for a ride.
And then Luchasaurus does the every big man momentum killer, running his shoulder into the post, but it doesn't last long because in Jungle Boy, he does the gin and juice into a power slam by Luchasaurus. Isn't that what he did?
It kind of looked like that. Yeah, that's a good point.
I would
call it that though, right?
Of course not, but I would be kind of upset if I was Private Party.
Yeah.
But like, what the hell you doing, man? Why are you doing our move? Anyway, that gets a name. That gets a 2. Cash hits a tornado DDT on the outside on Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy goes up top in the FTR corner, and I was like, why would you do this? And then, of course, nope. FTR counter, takes care of him, and they do the Power and Glory double team superplex splash move. That gets a 2. German suplex hold for 2. Dragon suplex hold by Cash, but then Marco dives to break it up. Tully, and this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Tully hits a slingshot suplex on Marco's stunt, and the crowd goes nuts because in 2021, they get to witness live a Tully Blanchard slingshot suplex. It's like getting to see a Macho Man elbow in real life, That
was crazy.
Tremendous. Yeah. The crowd is absolutely loving this. And it's even more sweet because it's on Marco. Lucha
make up for him not taking a big rig.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Luchasaurus hit tail whips Tully, and then they hit the Thoracic Express on Cash, but that only gets a 2. Jungle Boy dives and hits a cameraman, and then I guess it was the same cameraman, but I thought it was another cameraman hits Jungle Boy. And this is
I think it was. Yeah, it was hard because there was a lot of hard cuts between those angles.
I think it probably was only one guy, but
yeah.
Excalibur and Shivani are like, oh my god, like what's going on? It's a cameraman. There's a cameraman. He hit Jungle Boy. What's going on? There's a masked cameraman. They're playing dumb, and JR just says, "That's gotta be a plant, guys. Come on." Line of the night.
He does not have time for this shit.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
So FTR and Tully hit a triple spike pile driver on Luchasaurus, and Tully pins Luchasaurus for the win. And the masked cameraman, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And it's none other than Shawn Spears. Yes. And he's back with a blonde mohawk. And then Arn Anderson comes out and he gives the 4 Horsemen symbol. And then JJ gives it back to him. It's like, huh? I thought Arn was a good guy, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess
that was odd.
He's still friends with JJ Dillon or something. But anyway, the right team won. Shawn Spears is back. Marco had got a slingshot suplex. So all is right with the world.
So I gotta ask, are you serious about Shawn Spears? Your Shawn Spears fandom?
At this point, I'm kind of like half and half actually glad that, because it's like, what is the deal? Are they just gonna like repackage Shawn Spears all the time? Right? First he was that guy, he was like Cody's friend, and then he turned on Cody, whacked him with the chair, and then he became the chairman, and then he got Tully, and then now he's coming out with this glove, and then he does an interview, is like, I don't need the glove, I'm out of here, and then he leaves, and now he's back with a blonde mohawk. So it's like, what the hell? Like, make up your mind.
Yeah, you forgot the angle where he was looking for a partner.
That too, he was looking for a partner, and then they just dropped that too. So it's like, how are they gonna try to repackage Shawn Spears next? I actually kind of enjoy it, because it's like, what else are they gonna try with this guy?
I hope they found it. Yeah, we'll see.
So this was another weird thing. Or anything you want to say about the match? Or
no, I think you hit all the points, man. I was I'm just getting over the fact that Tully Blanchard pulled off that move. That was still nuts. I still can't get that out of my head. I was smiling, I was laughing, I was like, oh, he freaking did it. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, that was cool. So that was the best part.
And the best part was that everybody cheered.
Yeah.
And AEW had to know that everybody would cheer this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But I don't know. So after the match, like before FTR and Tully and JJ and Shawn Spears even leave the ringside area, Shivani comes out and he's talking about AEW Elevation, and JJ Dillon comes and interrupts him, and Shivani says, "You don't get paid any extra for that." And he introduces,
that had to be real, huh?
Yeah, he introduces Paul White, and he has a new shirt. It says "No More BS," which is, I got it. I see what they're doing here. No more BS. Like bullshit, but also big show. Very clever, AEW. And he says,
shirts.
Huh?
Hold on. Speaking of shirts, what are you wearing today?
Well, in honor of Shawn Spears coming back, I'm wearing the Iconics shirt, which is his real life wife Peyton, which is another plea for me for the WWE. Please bring back the Iconics, because maybe I'll watch the show
if they bring them back.
Yeah, they weren't the best wrestlers, but they were very entertaining. So, I bought the shirt. And speaking of shirts, you are wearing
my Omegatron.
You got the
shirt here. Yeah.
Is that what it's supposed to be, Omegatron? It's not like
that's the name of the shirt, but it looks a lot more like a Gundam.
Yeah, I figure it looked like a Gundam to me, but it doesn't look anything like Megatron.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the name of the shirt if you look it up on AEW, shopaew.com.
Omegatron.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Oh. Of course. Well, we'll see if he even makes an appearance tonight.
Well, he was in the video package.
Oh, that counts. Yeah, I guess.
So, anyway, Paul White comes out, and Tony says he's known him, and he says that Tony has known him since he had long hair and a bright future. That was a good line. And he's happy to be in AEW. And he has the biggest scoop ever. This Sunday at Revolution, AEW will sign a Hall of Fame worthy talent. And I quickly went to the internet and I was like, who the hell could it be? So the rumors are Christian, Kurt Angle, and RVD.
Wow. That's quite a list.
I don't like any of those three names.
Really?
No, I don't, because Kurt Angle is too damn old, RVD is too damn old, and Christian is awesome, but that's exactly what happened with TNA back in the day when, you know, Christian went over. It's like, this is what I always like complain about, and I don't want to happen, where they just become like, where the people who WWE don't sign anymore, they come to AEW. That's not what I want. So, yeah. I'm hoping it's not any of those three. It might be one of those three, but you have... I mean, there's only one guy that would, you know, cause a huge... I mean, Paul White, I was going to say the Big Show, but Paul White says he has the biggest scoop ever. So there's only one person in the world that would ever be like the biggest scoop ever. John Cena. No. It wouldn't. No, it's not going to be John Cena, but CM Punk. I mean, that's the only...
I was gonna say that, but
that's the only way it'll. I'm pretty sure Cena's still under contract with WWE or whatever, but I don't think Cena's gonna come, and I don't think The Rock is either. So the only guy that would be the biggest scoop ever would be
CM Punk.
CM Punk. I mean,
that would be insane.
I mean, you know what else would be the biggest scoop ever too, but in the wrong kind of way, would be like Marty Scurll. But
I hope not.
We're not gonna talk about that. So yeah.
That wouldn't go. That would go over like a lead balloon.
That would be the biggest scoop ever, though, would it not? But for very opposite reasons of AEW's goals, I would think.
I think TNT would have a shit fit once they found out the backstory.
Yeah. So
who's this guy you signed? Oh, he's pretty popular, huh? Let's look up his name now. Oh, what's this?
it's yeah. So I don't know who it's gonna be. I don't know. I hope it's God. Who could it be though? I have no idea.
We'll see. Yeah. I will say one thing though. I think maybe the excitement got to him. Maybe he forgot the line. I don't know. But the Big Show called it AEW Evolution on Sunday.
Oh, did he say that?
Evolution. Yeah. Oh. Oops. Wasn't there a WWE pay-per-view called Evolution once?
Probably.
They've had so many names.
Probably. I don't know. But yeah, they recapped they recapped the women's tournament, and Ryo Mizunami has won the Japanese side and Nyla Rose has won the US side. So all I'm going to say is that they did it. They had Thunder Rosa beat Riho. And luckily for you, AEW, you didn't do it on Dynamite. You put it on Bleacher Report, which nobody could watch. So I'm going to let it slide. I'm going to let it slide this time.
You know, I think we're in the minority. Obviously Nyla won her match against Thunder Rosa, but there was so much shit about Nyla winning that match against Thunder Rosa.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Everything I read, people were like, Thunder should have won. Why is Nyla winning? Thunder's the better wrestler. Thunder should be competing for the belt. And
I know a lot of people like Thunder Rosa, and I think she's a decent wrestler too. It's just, I don't know, something about her. And she's not better than Riho. Come on, god damn it.
I don't think so. No way. Well, yeah, I don't think so. But I think it's just overexposure.
So,
and
I think
the fact that she's not even an AEW wrestler.
Yeah, that too. Unless she did sign with AEW secretly and nobody said anything. But I think what people I didn't hear any of that, but I'm guessing is what people didn't like about Nyla winning is that it pretty much gave away the winner of this match. And we're going to spoil it right here. Ryo Mizunami wins. Because, I mean, it's been like the last, how many pay-per-views has been Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida? I mean, how many times have we seen it? And if they were going to do a Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida match again, they would need a much, much bigger build-up to it. Because they're like at this point, they're the two biggest AEW women's stars, are they not? Mm-hmm. Unless you count Britt. But I'm thinking if they would have if they were gonna do Nyla versus Shida, they wouldn't need this tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big enough match on its own. So I'm thinking, yeah, they're probably kind of people are not happy because I mean it just gives away the tournament result.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And I guess you are right though. People on the internet, they love their Thunder Rosa. They think she's the bee's
greatest
knees
thing since sliced bread.
Since Bruce Lee.
But even Thunder Rosa has faced Hikaru like we talked about last week at a pay-per-view, no less.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. We talked about it last week. She wrestled at God, we talked about it last week, man. September's pay-per-view, I think. Last year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I would have loved to have seen Riho. I would have loved to have seen Britt versus Hikaru. But yeah, you're right. It kind of gave it away that the Japanese side was going to be the one to come out of this one.
Yeah.
Because Nyla came out of the American
side.
Because
I don't think they would have done Nyla versus Shida again.
Third time on pay-per-view in a year. Yeah.
So anyway, the match is Nyla Rose versus Ryo Mizunami. And they trade power moves, and Ryo Mizunami is kind of nuts. I mean, I think Japanese women's wrestling, they do a lot of like showmanship. So that's why she's doing all these fire ups and miming and all this weird dancing and shit. And it's like, okay.
I was having a good time.
Yeah.
But the pace was odd.
Yeah. So back from the break, Nyla misses a swanton. Ryo goes off the second rope, hits a guillotine leg drop onto Nyla, onto the apron where Nyla was on the apron, and this is how she beat Aja Kong. Nyla makes it in at 9, and then Ryo hits another guillotine leg drop and in the ring for 2. And they announce on the pre-show Riho and Thunder Rosa versus Britt and Rebel. Okay, whatever. And Nyla hits a DVD for 2. Nyla hits a diving knee, while Ryo is draped over the top. And Excalibur really irritated me here when right after Nyla hit the move, Excalibur's all like, "Oh, Nyla's the winner. She's going to AEW Revolution to face Hikaru Shida," before the pin attempt even occurs. So you pretty much already know that she won't win, and it just makes Excalibur look like a dork. But Nyla goes for the Beast Bomb. Ryo hits a legit exploder. And not like those fake ass exploders that people do nowadays. She hit like the actual exploder. And then Nyla hits a superplex. Ryo hits a spear, then a top rope guillotine leg drop and gets the 3. Yay. But yeah, this was I thought this was pretty good. This wasn't spectacular, but it's all right.
It was a pretty good match.
It's good, yeah.
It wasn't as good as Nyla versus Britt. What was that, last week? But
yeah. And it wasn't as good as Riho versus Serena Deeb, but
yeah, that was a great match too. Yeah,
but this was perfectly. Good. This is good match. I liked it.
This was a lot better than most women's matches.
Honestly. Nyla has.
If keep up this matches, this category or this caliber, I would be very happy.
Yeah, Nyla has come a long way. I don't think she's like great yet, but I mean, she was terrible when AEW first started, and she's well above average now.
Remember when she almost dropped, was it Nakazawa on his head? On his neck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, whoa. It's like, oh my God, that power bomb, the beast bomb or whatever. Oh, it's like, oh my God, she was so close to paralyzing that poor guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's come a long way.
Come a long way. So this part, another weird thing happens after the match. Shida gets in the ring to present Ryo with the trophy for winning the tournament, and they shake hands with their left hand. I was like, that's not like a Japanese custom or anything. But okay, now I know why. Because right after that, Ryo hits her with an elbow, and then Shida hits her with an elbow, and then they go back and forth, hitting each other with elbows, and then Ryo goes down, and then Shida just standing up, shows her the belt, and then they go to commercial. So it's like, this is kind of funny, but okay.
Heels no less. She was throwing those elbows.
Yeah, it was like,
yeah, that was great. I love that segment.
Okay.
So funny. It was so random. She took that first hit from Ryu, and she's like, "All right, this is how it's gonna be."
It kind of looked like friendly, right? Not like they hate each other, but it's kind of like, oh, I got a title shot. I'm gonna throw in a quick elbow right here, and
with some salt.
Shida's like, oh, so that's how it's gonna be, huh? And then,
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah. So I think that was pretty cool. So back from the break, Shivani is in the ring and he announces Sting. So I'm gonna be shocked as hell if Team Taz comes out and during this segment. But so Sting talks about how 2 weeks ago he wasn't ready, and he thanks Brian Cage for shaking off the excess ring rust, and he feels ready for the street fight. But then, oh crap, my prediction is wrong. Ricky Starks comes out, and he's out here on his own accord. That was so weird. Like, he says this, he's like, "Don't worry, I'm out here on my own accord. It's okay." Like, I don't know why this was so good. It's probably because Ricky Starks is the best. But he says he saw something that he hasn't seen in a while, and that's fire from Sting. And he's man enough to admit that Sting still got it, but he stands behind what he said, and Sting is no icon. And he slaps Sting, and Sting retaliates, and he drops Ricky, and he rips up Ricky's clothes, and he beats him up, and he hits a clothesline and a Stinger splash, and then he puts on the Scorpion Deathlock. But then Hobbs and Hook try to break it up, but Sting fights them off. And then Cage hits the ring, and he's going to powerbomb Sting again. But then Darby's music hits, so Cage stalls for a bit for Darby to run down to the ring. And he attacks, and then Sting hits a Stinger splash onto the back of Cage. And Darby hits a shotgun dropkick off top, and Team Taz is out of there. So, finally, the build-up for this match is over. We're going to finally see it after weeks of Sting interviews and Sting calling out Team Taz, and finally it's gonna happen, but in a good way, because it's been long enough and it's been built up very well. And I'm sure everybody wants to see Sting, and everybody wants to see Darby and Ricky, and I mean, we haven't really seen a lot of Team Taz matches too.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Honestly, it's been a while. It seemed like for a hot minute there, it was like every week there was a Team Taz match.
Yep.
Yeah. That was great. Ricky Starks is amazing. Just he just exudes like the right amount of theatrics every time he's in there. Like when he was getting beat up by Sting and his shoes were flying in the air.
Yeah. He's like the best pickup for AEW that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't think he wasn't part of the initial AEW roster, right? And he came in for the TNT title, the open challenge with Cody, and like when I first saw him, I thought he was a good wrestler, but I was like, so what? He's a good wrestler. What else does he bring? And then he joined Team Taz, and then he's been like S tier entertainment every single week, every time he's out there. It's like,
oh, he's so good.
Where did this guy come from? Like, damn, he's so good. So up next, we've got the Face of the Revolution qualifier match. Last week, we got Rey Fenix versus Lance Archer. And this week, we're getting 10 versus Max Caster. Okay. So the whole...
It's neck and neck, the caliber of this.
It's neck and neck, you're right. So the whole Dark Order is out, including -1. And Scorpio is on guest commentary. And where the hell has this guy been? But he's a bad guy now.
Yeah. Did you notice that too, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's throwing all kinds of
he's cocky. Yeah. He's talking about how these guys won't last 5 minutes with him.
Everybody's here to see me.
Yeah, they shouldn't. The camera shouldn't show the action in the ring. They should put the camera on him at the commentary booth. Like, when did this happen? Did this happen on Dark?
I don't know. I'm kind of not liking the Scorpio.
I'm kind of not liking it either. I like him as a good guy.
Yeah. We'll see.
Anyway, so Max Caster comes out with his usual rap, and he mentions Lady Gaga's dog walker. It's like, that's a little too soon, man. The guy got shot.
Yeah, that was... I was beyond words shocked when he said that. I was like, what? That's not really funny. That guy's still in the hospital.
Yeah. So
it's too soon, man.
This was an okay match. It wasn't very long, and there really wasn't much to it. And the biggest thing I got out of this match is that Scorpio Sky is now a bad guy. And then just out of nowhere, Jack Evans hits 10 with the boombox while he was hiding under the ring, and Caster gets the win, and he's shocked. And in a the Adam West Batman fashion, Matt Hardy comes out with an envelope that has $4,200 written on it, and he shakes Jack Evans' hands and he gives him the envelope. It's like, what the? Why would you? I don't know, but I mean, it's pro wrestling. It's wacky. It's fun. It's good.
Here's my green envelope with Jack Evans and the exact
amount of money I'm giving to him. And he hands it to him and shakes his hand. Oh, it was so good. But yeah, anything you want to add to the match or after what happened after?
I want to say if Matt Hardy's paying $4,200 to people to just throw boomboxes at random Dark Order members, sign me up.
Sign you up?
Yeah. Why not?
I'll do it okay. I mean, he's only got beef with the Dark Order, but I'll do it to Marco for free.
Then you won't get one of those cool envelopes.
Yes, no, that's okay.
The only I guess the only other thing I'll say is the match was fine. The match was decent enough. I really did not like the ending, and it's not because Max won. Like, I just felt like, what? Like, okay, if he's gonna beat up Dark Order members, that's fine. If he's gonna interfere in a match that has nothing to do with necessarily beating up Dark Order members, it just seems odd. Like, I don't know. It was a weird setup for that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I wasn't too mad, but whatever. So we've got the lineup for Revolution. We've got Thunder Rosa and Riho versus Britt Baker and Reba in the pre-show. Miro and Kip versus Orange and Chuck. And then Miro has a little mini interview. He says he's going to give the people what they want. Destruction. And he tops it off with game over. And then we've got the face of the Revolution ladder match. The 6th person in the ladder match is a mystery. Maybe it'll be that Hall of Fame worthy signing that that Paul White was going to talk about. And speaking of which, he's going to have a major announcement talking about that. I'm guessing he's going to be introducing this new wrestler coming to AEW. And he for the women's title, Hikaru Shida versus Ryo Mizunami. Matt Hardy versus Hangman Page in their money match. The street fight with Darby Allin and Sting versus Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. There's the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. The Young Bucks versus Jericho and MJF for the tag team titles. And Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship in the barbed wire exploding death match. But for your main event on the last Dynamite to build up Revolution, Matt Hardy and Mark Quinn versus John Silver and Hangman Page. So, spoiler alert, no Kenny Omega and no Jon Moxley on this show, other than that video package. Seems odd. But
very odd. Yeah, like, I don't know. Almost like a mistake, I want to say. Like, oh shit, we didn't plan anything for Kenny and John. Oh well, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they could have had like something really quick at the end where like Kenny brings out whatever he was building last week and he shows and it's like some big ass explosion and Moxie's like, what the fuck, man? And Moxie gets on the mic. He's like, well, little do you know, I'm making something for you too, pal. And then, that'd be the end of Dynamite. Right?
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. If I hire
you know what would have been great if
hire us, AEW. Better yet, hire me. Leave him at home.
Yeah. Beat up Don Callis or something.
Yeah. Like, man, how much would people love that if they brought out some explosion crap and then Moxley paradigm shift him and it exploded in Don Callis' face.
Would have been so good.
Yeah.
Oh man. I probably would have bought Revolution if they did that.
Yeah. Anyway, Hardy and Quinn versus Silver and Hangman. What did you think of this one?
The match was fine. It was pretty good. It told a story, but
there wasn't really a lot to it. I mean, this was a lot shorter than most AEW main events. Usually they give them about like 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
But this one was like less than 15. So
very short.
They take control. They just had like a quick back and forth and they went to break. And when they come back, they've got control on Silver. But he hits a standing slice of bread on Matt. He tags in Hangman and Quinn gets in too. Hangman runs wild. Quinn goes for a brogue kick, but he misses and he hits Matt. Hangman hits a fallaway slam and then dives onto Matt on the outside. Hangman tosses Quinn back into his corner, but Matt doesn't want to tag in. So then Quinn takes control of Hangman, and now Matt wants in. And he calls for the twist of fate, but he gets hit with a backdrop. Silver tags in, hits a spear on Hardy. He counters the twist of fate, hits a nice brainbuster. Quinn goes up and hits a shotgun drop kick on Silver. Hangman tags in. They combo Quinn, hits the buckshot lariat on Quinn, and then he just pins him. And Matt is like, oh my god, and he doesn't want to break up the pin. He's just looking on in shock because this is the first time he's ever seen the buckshot lariat or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Hangman and Silver get the W. And then Silver hugs Hangman, but then they both get attacked from behind by Matt. And he attacks him with the microphone and he starts talking shit. And then the entire Dark Order come out and they mob Matt Hardy. Like a million
they really beat the shit out of Matt Hardy.
a 1,000,000-1 guys on Matt Hardy.
Those look like some real hard shots. Yeah. I was like, holy shit, are they really kicking Matt Hardy's ass?
And then the other tag teams from the Casino Battle Royal come in and we have a big old brawl. And the best part about this brawl is -1 on the stage. And he's like, he's so good. And he's like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? And then Phoenix and Pac's music hit and they run down. And that's the end of the show. But one thing I want to say about this is if you're Phoenix and Pac, why? This always pisses me off about these like big old, like all the people in the Battle Royal start fighting and then somebody else, they like, more people start showing up and fighting. Like, why? This is not the actual Battle Royal. Like, you gain nothing by coming out here.
What are you talking about? Those brawls are always great.
They're good, but if you're the wrestler, like, why would you do this? Why would you come out and fight? You gain nothing.
Maybe you can attack the team that you think you're gonna have the biggest trouble with. Maybe get some cheap shots in.
For what? They'll be fine and dandy come Sunday.
Yeah, I gotta say, I look like Phoenix took a pretty hard shot to Hangman there. I don't you was expecting to get hit in the back of the head like that.
I did. I didn't see it. I gotta see it. But anything you want to say about this match or this tag team battle royal thingy at the end? Of all the things to like, the ending of Dynamite is building up the tag team battle royal, right? The thing that they announced tonight.
And they've barely even really touched on. I don't think they've even said every team that's available because we had to go through them all last week, right? Or the week before. Like how many? What team was that?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, they just had one recently, right? When we were bitching about how come how come the Inner Circle has like an official tag team, but then there's 3 teams in the Battle Royal now. The one that got them the match with the Young Bucks. So I don't know.
I guess it's just gonna be a reoccurring thing, huh? Like we're just gonna have another Battle Royale.
Do you before we head out, do you want to give your predictions? Do we want to give our official Beach Blaster AEW Revolution predictions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
We're not gonna have another chance otherwise, right?
So Thunder Rosa and Riho versus Britt and Reba.
Gotta be Thunder Rosa and Riho.
Really? I actually am gonna pick against them.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like Britt and Reba are probably gonna cheat or probably gonna do something to screw over one of the girls. Plus, Thunder Rosa and Riho don't tag together, so maybe they'll have like something where they don't get along or something.
So was it just me, or it was so fast? Did you catch the line where they were talking over each other? But I think it was JR that said that if Reba can't wrestle, then Britt gets to pick her partner.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did get that, but I didn't really I didn't write it down because I didn't catch the whole thing. So.
Yeah, that was really weird because like no one else acknowledged it. Like somebody said it and they just moved on to the next thing. It's like, oh, and then blah 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 is gonna happen next, and so and so.
So I mean, if I'm Britt, I'm picking Jade, man.
Yeah.
Or Nyla. Or
Nyla, yeah. In that case, I would be on board with your pick for sure.
But yeah, I think Britt and Reba. So Miro and Kip versus Orange and Chuck. Ooh.
How would this? So if we want this feud to end, who would win?
Oh, I don't know.
It seems like it's never ending, right?
It's never gonna end. I'm gonna say Orange and Chuck win though.
Okay.
And I think Kip will do something stupid and then Miro will just snap on him, and then finally we'll get like the Miro that we've, because he made mention of something about how like the Miro that everybody wants to see, right? And no more games and all this crap. So I'm thinking Orange and Chuck win, and then Miro just is like, forget it. He's had enough of Kip, and he's like, I never was your friend, so something like that. So I'm going to go Orange and Chuck.
I'm going to go with Orange and Chuck, too. I think Trent's going to make a surprise appearance. And maybe turn the tide.
That makes sense.
Penelope's going to do some shenanigans on Kip's side, and then maybe Trent will come in, do some shenanigans to make sure, hey, don't forget about me, mother effer,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Face of the Revolution.
This is probably the hardest one to predict.
So I'm either gonna guess the 6th person or Scorpio.
The 6th person. That's a good man. I don't know. Like, it would be weird that the 6th person would come in and just suddenly wrestle for the TNT Championship, considering the slate of guys you have in this match.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say either Lance or Scorpio for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul White.
Hard to predict.
Paul White will make a major announcement. Do you have any prediction on who will be the guy or girl? You never know. It could be a girl.
I gotta say, I'm a little confused. Is that part of this ladder match, or is that separate? We don't know.
I have no idea. Yeah. It could be like,
could be the same guy or girl. Well, it can't be girl if it's a ladder match, but yeah, I don't know. No idea, man. Your guess is as good as mine. I hope it's not Kurt or RVD though. Like you said, they're pushing 50. Yeah. So
Hikaru versus Ryo Mizunami. I'm pretty sure Shida's gonna take this. I'd be very, very surprised if Shida loses.
Unless they're signing Ryu. If they've signed Ryu, then it's possible, because she's not signed as an actual AEW wrestler, as far as I know.
As far as I know, no. But yeah, I don't think
Shida. Yeah,
Shida. Hardy versus Hangman.
Oh, no, gotta be Hangman.
Gotta be Hangman. Yeah, I would say Hangman too.
Yeah.
Probably the TH2 and the Private Party and the Dark Order will no doubt get involved somehow.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of shenanigans, but I think Hangman's gonna pull it out.
Yeah. The street fight, Darby and Sting versus Ricky and Bryan. Ricky and Bryan sounds like a Nickelodeon show.
Or a Disney Channel show. Yeah. All signs point to Sting and Darby being able to pull this out, right? Sting's first match back is Darby. He's the face of TNT, or he's the face of the TNT Championship. But I'm gonna go against the grain and say Brian Cage and Ricky Starks gonna pull it out. Yeah. Yeah,
I kind of want to pick them too, but I think AEW is very big on giving us a happy ending to the story. So I'm gonna go Darby and Sting. The Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. I don't know if they're in it, but if FTR is in it, I'm gonna pick FTR. But
I don't even know half the teams.
If they're not in it, I have no friggin' clue.
I can look it up real quick. I think SCU's in it.
SCU, but then that would mean they're gonna break up
if they lose.
Yeah, because
does that count?
Unless they win, I don't know. They might win.
So here are the teams that have been confirmed as of. Oh, this is a week ago. Shit, I don't know anymore. John Silver and Alex Reynolds, one Dark Order team. Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, two Dark Order teams. Santana and Ortiz, Butcher and the Blade, Top Flight, Private Party, Bear Country. I don't see SCU on here, but I know I saw them run out.
FTR on the list?
I don't see them on the list either. This is an old list, though.
I have. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say Phoenix and PAC then.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah, they've never really competed against the Young Bucks, huh? In that capacity, right? It can't be Santana Ortiz. I don't think it's gonna be the Dark Order. Phoenix and PAC, that's a good bet. That's a good guess.
The Bucks versus Jericho and MJF.
Got to be the Bucks retaining.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Bucks retain too.
Yeah.
And then Kenny versus John.
Kenny's gonna win.
I mean, you're wearing an Omega shirt.
I am, but I'm a huge Mox fan too. But Kenny's gonna pull this out. It's not gonna be clean though. I'm sure there'll be some interference from somebody. Well, actually, I don't know how that would work though. How would they even get to the match? I don't even know how this barbed wire works, right? Like,
I'm thinking Kenny will retain.
Yeah.
Who knows if maybe a Japanese person will come and interfere in the match.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't know. Like, that's probably what everybody wants, right?
Yeah. That'd be a nice surprise. Yeah. We'll see.
Beachblaster X did tell me that Moxley retained over Kenta.
Oh, he did. Did he?
U.S. title match, yeah.
We gotta get that guy on here one day.
We'll get him on here one of these days.
Yeah.
But, all right. He's not a big American wrestling fan, so we'll get him on.
Plan.
But those are our predictions. If we do well, we'll talk about them next week, and if we do poorly, we won't. So that's how it goes. But other than that, anything you want to talk about before we jump off?
No, that's it. Stay safe out there, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, so wherever you're watching this, you'll see buttons that are like. Don't press the dislike. I was told to not say dislike. But press the likes, the subscribes, the follows, the donate millions of dollars buttons. Do all those things. And we will catch you next week for another recap. So until then, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
Peace out, guys. Thanks.